Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this program on the road, get it working right. I appreciate everybody that's here. Thank you. This is Prime Sports Media. We're back at it again. As you already know, CU, Colorado, has come off an incredible victory. Hail Mary. The young man, Wester, came up with the big catch. Of course, you had Travis Hunter, who went out there in high fashion on defense, showed you what he could do both on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball, showed you that he could make the tackle, he could make the play. LeJontay Wester made a hell of a catch. What I want to do as a reminder is I want to show you a still photo as this young man caught a hell of a football under pressure. Oh, we can't forget that it was Shedeur Sanders, who his ability to ad-lib, his ability to improvise under pressure, under the circumstances, to never give up and to win and play with such poise. We've got to give him a clap. We got to give him some big ups. What's going on, Alicia? Good to see you here. We got to give him some big ups. He made a decision. Travis Hunter said that he knew that they were double and triple teaming him, and they were hoping, according to Travis Hunter, they were hoping that they used him as sort of a decoy, that they would put pressure on his side that would open up things for our man Wester, who made an incredible catch, incredible movement, just an incredible night when everything broke down the way it did. Tonight, I want to cover a variety of different things because, as you know, they're going up against UCF. Now, let's give our prayers and our wishes and our thoughts to the people in the state of Florida as this hurricane, this weather, this storm that's coming is having an impact. Now, we'll have to see going into this weekend what will be the status of the game in Orlando against UCF. This is going to be quite an exciting game if it does take place. I think Coach Prime and the team has already gotten down there. Let's wish them safety. Let's wish them our prayers that they have a safe trip. Nothing happens. They all come back home. Everybody involved is safe because you never know what a storm can do. It has a mind of its own. As humans, we can't control where it's going to go next. So let's hope that this whole thing, that it'll be, they'll figure out whether it's going to be safe to play come this Saturday. But as of right now, it looks like there may be a game or is going to be a game on Saturday between Colorado and the UCF Knights. This is not a game that I think CU can sleep on. They got to take it serious, which I already know that they are. They got to be focused because there are some talented players on this UCF team, particularly the running game. I'm going to address that running game. They've got a guy on that team, RJ Harvey, who is an NFL prospect. I've got his numbers, the numbers that he put up over the last 3 games. Now, mind you, he didn't play against world beaters. I think maybe the best team on their schedule so far that they played was against TCU. So they didn't play, world beater teams, the first 2 teams, and I'm going to go deeper into that. But this young man, since 2023, he's been coming on, and we Bester or CU, they're going to need to focus on concentrating on stopping UCF's running game. I think that's the secret ingredient to this football team that they're about to match up with after looking at video on them, after examining the personnel. They've got some talent. They got a talented receiver in K. Hudson. So I'm going to talk about this A lot to unpack on tonight's show. So make sure you share this video. Thank you, Goddess, for coming over. Share the video in your social media. Tell people about the channel. If you're watching me right now on on your laptop, your desktop, your phone, whatever it is, hit the button that says share and go right ahead and share the video on your Twitter, your X as we call it, or your Facebook. I would appreciate it. I thank you for coming over. I have a lot to unpack tonight, a lot to get into within the time that we have to do this show tonight. It's a pregame show, pregame matchup. I'm going to keep it real with you. CU can beat this team, but they've got to come into this game and take this team serious. Don't have a letdown after an emotional victory over Baylor. Sometimes teams, when they have an emotional win over a team a week before, that can be let down. But I don't think they'll be let down. I think they'll be prepared. There's some guys on the team that this is a homecoming for them as well as it is for Coach Prime. They're going to Florida, and we're going to see what they can do in Florida. There's a lot of things to cover tonight about football. I got my football right here, you know. Bam, 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 throw that football. But this is a 2-in-1 type show tonight because I want to get into recruitment. Coach Prime had a press conference. They were asking him about recruitment because you're going to see how this ties into the game on Saturday, because there are going to be a lot of kids there in Florida that are coming to watch this game, particularly recruits that UCF is trying to get. And these kids, if Coach Prime and CU can go into that stadium, show up and show off, they could flip some of those kids in Florida that Coach Prime has a pipeline to, because you got guys from Florida on CU. We can flip some of the same kids that are there watching UCF, and they might take a liking to CU in person and say, you know what, I think I'm going to flip. They've already flipped a kid this week, and I'm going to talk about that. Okay, let's go into this right here. We got so much to get into tonight. Make sure you pop your popcorn, get your drink, whatever you're into, and enjoy the show tonight as I display a few things for you. Once again, this young man was dynamic, okay? Here he is again. We're talking about Wester, who I said from the beginning of the season when I cracked open the microphone and I cracked open this channel for this season, I said, everybody, that I believe that LeJontay Wester, number 10, I believe that he's going to be an X factor offensively for CU, and that he's someone that we can't underestimate. Now, I want to say peace and respect to Griffin Notary Services, LLC. Check out his services. He's a mod on the channel. We got Blue Devil in the house. We got folks coming in little by little. I know it's late for folks around the country, but let me go into the studio here, into our studio, our observation studio, our reaction studio, and let me let you see what Prime had to say. And it ties right into the next thing that I'm going to go into very soon here. So check this out, everybody.
Like this 2025 class is coming along so far.
Pretty good, but you got to understand, man, you have to look at your roster. You got to balance that between high school guys, portal guys, what back. It's a balancing act. It's no one way to do it. I think everyone knows that. There's no one way to do it. Now, I know we get criticized for going in the portal, but if you talk about other teams and how much they went in the portal, it ranks right up there with everyone else. But we're
right, but yet CU gets a lot of criticism for utilizing the portal. Let's continue.
We're just the portal kings. It seems to be, and that's not the case. We have a few freshmen playing and doing a phenomenal job right now. I think I gave you a statistic 1 week of how many freshmen we played last year, even freshman walk-ons. They got in there and got some experience. So I think we're doing a good job with the guys from high school, but also the guys from portal. It's just like the NFL to me, man. It's free agency and draft choices. You don't take a lot of draft choices, but you get what you need in free agency.
Hey, Coach Brian Howard.
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I have 2 questions.
So basically, Coach Prime is going to keep continuing this philosophy of bringing in kids from the high school ranks, from the portal ranks. And I think they need to just stop the criticism because all the other teams are doing it too. You'll see how it ties into the next segment of the show. Let's continue, Coach Prime.
Questions for you. I'll go one at a time. Four games into the season, you're 1/3 of the way through. Where is this team as far as like what your expectations were at this point in time?
You're never going to reach my expectations. That's not going to be garnished. You can't reach that because I think big. You know, I have big lofty dreams and lofty aspirations for each and every one of these kids on the field as well as off the field. So we're getting there. We're getting closer. But the one thing that I could honestly
and I got to stop it right there. When Coach Prime says that they're getting closer, that's what everybody is afraid of, ladies and gentlemen. They are afraid that if Coach Prime, CU, Colorado, if they continue to bring in talent year after year, that they are going to eventually be up there with the big boys. That's what they're concerned of. You give them time. It's only this, and this is what's crazy about this. This is only the second year of the process.
Heartedly say we're getting better every week in different facets of the game. You know darn well you can't compare last year's defense to this defense or the offense as well. You see progress. You see.
Now, Coach Prime is right. You are seeing progress. There are some things that badly need improvement. We witnessed it last week with the special teams not being very special, and that's got to be fixed. That's got to be adjusted. That's got to be justified to be better. However, can we agree that the defense on this team has made improvement in comparison to last season? Can we at least put sevens in the chat room? Can we agree to that? Doesn't mean that everything cannot still be improved to a level better. But if we notice in that game against Baylor, what was the one thing that has been showing up from game to game? We're seeing different skill sets. They're stopping the run. And what they did against Baylor last week, they got to do twofold against R.J. Harvey of UCF. The man is a beast. He's the real deal. Let's continue.
Certain positions, and you see certain even young guys saying, "Okay, that guy another
Salute
year."
to everybody in the
phenomenal. Chat. I mean, I know Shedeur and Travis take the headlines, but it's a lot of other guys doing some phenomenal jobs out there, just giving them the opportunity to shine. So I appreciate that.
Second question is, you guys have the luxury of having obviously a really good secondary and guys you can go one-on-one with your corners. How big of a deal is that for the impact it's made on the front seven, where they're able to play better against the?
It was a big deal until last week when we got our butts kicked a couple times on some deep balls, which is unlike us.
Right, and on those deep balls, I believe DJ McKinney got beat a few times here and there, and I talked about a week ago that there's some technique issues that they're going to have to improve on, meaning when that ball's in the air, I know these guys are covering the receivers, but sometimes it also helps you when you can kind of look a little bit, just so slightly, to see where the ball is coming because you might have a chance to intercept it, knock it down, because there were a few times when the opponent caught the ball and his back was completely turned from the football coming in that direction, where if he had turned around a little bit, got a chance to look at it and maybe got a hand up quicker. These are just adjustments that can be made in practice.
That's not who we are. We trying to shore that up right now. We're on their butts today at practice tremendously, but we have some guys that can flat out play man, and they'll do a better job in the future. I promise
They will
you
do
that.
a better job, Coach Prime.
But it helps.
All right, guys, let's go back into the regular studio here. I appreciate everybody that's here tonight. Make sure you like the video, share the video in all your social media. We definitely would appreciate that. I would appreciate that. We're going to get more people over here. And I try to give you, as I always say every time, and I don't mean to be arrogant or anything when I say this, I want to give you a comprehensive show, a great analysis, and a great quality show, just like you're watching a TV program, okay? So let's continue on to here. So you hear what Coach Prime says there, and this is how effective the recruitment has been for them. So when you look at recruitment, because this is a twofold video tonight, we're talking about recruitment, and we're also talking about what they have to do in their battle against UCF Knights. As we know, a commitment alert. There was a commitment by this young man right here. And that young man, should I say, is brother, let's put it up here, Deion Sanders in Colorado flipped Antonio Branch from Penn State. Now, this is a young man who flipped to CU when he went on a visit. I think it was an official visit. And that's what I'm saying. You get these guys coming on visits, you can change the mindset of these young men who decide, hey, I want to go play for Coach Prime and CU. So he came on a visit when he already was thinking about going to Penn State. He had other schools that were looking at him. And this young man decided, nah, I'm going to play for Coach Prime. Now, what did he say about Coach Prime? Let me read this here. Miami, Florida, Northwestern on Sports Industry, 4-star. So some of these publications have him ranked as a 3-star. Some have him ranked as a 4-star. But the On3 Industry 4-star defensive back, Penn State commit Antonio Branch Jr. took his official visit, I was right, to CU over the past weekend when they played against Baylor. And that made a strong impression on this young man, to the point that this young man is now committed to Buffalo, or to CU. Branch's mother, Trina, she told On3 on Monday, this past Monday, y'all, that her son has flipped his pledge to play for head coach Deion Sanders in Colorado. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's fantastic, y'all. So here he is. Rivals has him. On3 Sports, On3 has him ranked as 4-star. Rivals has him ranked as 3-star. They have him at a 97 state rank. He's 6'3" in height, 172 pounds. That's where Rival has him at. We'll see how this all plays out in the end. But at the same time, the truth of the matter is, this is a young man who has skills, and we have flipped him. So when Coach Prime says that recruitment for the 2025 class is going well, he means what he says and means what he says, and it's doing very well. Because he was able to add an impression on his kid. Well, check this out. You've got kids that are going to be at that game on Saturday, particularly young men that are there to watch UCF that's been recruiting them. Don't you know that CU can flip those kids over if they go in there and play hard, show up and show out, and defeat UCF and put on a great showing? That can, Coach Prime can snatch some of those kids that are coming to UCF, some Florida kids. Okay? Let's tell the truth on that. So anything is possible when you're dealing with the talented recruiting skills that Coach Prime has. So don't listen to these publications. Don't listen to these critics out here who say he only brings people in through the transfer portal. He's got young players coming in as well, guys that are flipping. In the case of this young man, Antonio Branch, a defensive back, has skills. And I'm going to show you what some of his skill sets are like. But let me go back over here. I appreciate everybody that's coming in tonight. I want to put this up here right here. So in Rivals, as I said before, they have him ranked as a 3-star, 6'3", 172 pounds. He's in the 2025 class. They have him here as a safety, but you know that Coach Prime likes to get kids that have dual athletic ability, meaning they can play cornerback, they can play safety, they can play a little bit of everything. And this kid may be raw and talented enough to be able to do that. He made a verbal commitment to CU on 9/23/2024 this year. Let's hope that the young man keeps to his commitment and everything works out. So far, you see him right here in the chair, at the barber chair in CU, doing the damn thing again. 2024 Sports composes a tabs branch as a 3-star prospect, number 40 safety in the class. ESPN and On Sports Industry ranks both considered Branch a 4-star prospect. However, now let me give you some details about the young man right here. Here are some scouting information about Antonio Branch right here that I want everybody to be aware of what this kid brings to the table. So he's a safety, as we said before. 6'2". They have him here, but he's 6'3". Okay, we know the rankings in terms of these organizations. High school, Miami Northwest High School, which is in Miami, Florida. Tackles. Branch had 18 tackles in 3 games during his senior season at Miami Northwest. Previous school, Branch previously attended Miami Booker T. Washington, where he had 52 tackles, 2 interceptions as a sophomore, 28 tackles, and 1 interceptions as a junior. That's pretty good stuff, right? Other schools that were interested in him besides just CU. Branch also received interest from Nebraska, Auburn, Florida, Florida State, Louisville, Miami, Michigan, and UCF. That's the team that they're about to play at, obviously, this upcoming Saturday. Look at these. These are good schools, and the young man has made his commitment to CU. Now, check this out. I'm going to read this. Branch was committed to Penn State until he flipped his commitment, as we already know, to Colorado after attending the Buffs win against Baylor. This is why winning these games are so important. The reason for commitment, Branch said he felt at home with Colorado and wanted to play for head coach, you know the man, Deion Sanders. Coach Prime. Coach Prime. So there it is, y'all. There it is. Let's go right here. I'm going to show you a little bit of what he can do, his skill set, which is a nice skill set. And don't worry, we're going to get to the breakdown, the matchup against UCF and CU. I got some exciting video clips to show you, the press conferences between both coaches, both players here. It's really exciting. I'm very excited to be doing this video this evening. I appreciate all of you. Make sure you share this video in your social media. If you're watching right now, you can hit the share button right now. We appreciate it. Tell your family, tell folks about the channel because we appreciate it. Now, here we go. Here's the area that I want to show you of his talent, okay? These are quick little clips of Antonio Branch to give you a taste of what his talent is and why Coach Prime definitely wants him, was able to flip him. The young man flipped himself to CU, and why I'm bringing this up because I think that it's very important for CU to go into Orlando, Florida, beat UCF real good, make a great showing to sort of lure the recruits that are there to watch them, to make them say, damn it, I think maybe I should be at CU playing for Coach Prime. We want that type of attitude that our young men, those young men may say, I'm going to play for CU and Coach Prime. And that's a damn truth and dime, okay?
Tell the truth.
Now, let's get over here and show you his skill set right here. Check this out, everybody. Check this out.
All the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah,
See
nah,
right there?
Right now. Staying on my mind on the usual. Wanna call you up like we used to do. Tell you all the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. I wonder if you're social lately. I wonder if you're always fucking sober or emotional roller coaster.
One of the things that I noticed, ladies and gentlemen, is that what's one of the things that we need more of? We need young men that are fast, quick, athletic, but they can tackle. You notice on those clips, this young man can tackle. Check that out again. Check this out. He makes the tackle. Point of contact. Boom! You see right there? Let's freeze that. He made point of contact, knocked that guy over off the legs. Okay? And that's exactly what we need in this program. Guys that can come in, that can tackle, who are not afraid to get in the dirt, get rough, get tough. And that's what you need out of your safety. That's what you need out of a safety. Boom. He knocks that guy over. Boom. Incredible. Let's look at the next clip on this young man. You're going to see where it says, you're going to see something flash over him, and you'll see that it's him. Let's look at this right here. Right there. You see him, a flash? Did you see there that his ability to tackle? That's what I'm most impressed with. Let's show that again. Boom. He tackles the quarterback who tries to do like a quarterback option or sneak or whatever you call it. But he gets him down right there. Young man is very, very, very athletic. All right. All right. So Coach Prime knows how to pick him. And this young man's coming in out of the high school ranks, not a transfer portal, has talent, and he has chosen CU. So I'm looking forward to what this young man can bring to the table. Let's put him up here one more time. Fresh out of high school, in high school, and one of the top guys. He's from Florida. He's a Florida kid, and you know he's going to be watching them when they play against UCF this upcoming Saturday. So I'm looking forward to what he brings to the table when he gets on campus and gets out there, gets acclimated to college life, to football life at the bigger level. And good job by Coach Prime being able to pull off this type of recruit, flipping him last weekend at that incredible overtime game against Baylor. So much deserving. And so with that said, everybody, let's get into the other part of the show. So as I said before, Shedeur showed you that he does not give up on plays. He's able to grit it out. I'm telling you right now, everybody, this kid right here, I've just got a special place for this kid right here. We're talking about Micah Welch. I'm going to say it again. What I like about him is his ability to run, to contact, to get people off of him, to break tackles. And you notice almost every time, on a few occasions when they have given him the football, he makes big runs. He slashes right through the middle. You know, there was a few times last week when they were able to stop him on a few plays here and there, but you give him more and more reps, he's going to be more, don't you think he's going to be more confident? He's going to be more focused. I think the kid has all that it takes. That's why I really believe, and I'm going to stay to this, that I think that Michael Welch may really be the number one running back on this team. It's just my opinion. I feel that he has the body, the mindset to be an every down back, a bruiser. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He has shown that, and very dangerous. But we have someone that's coming back. Coach Prime has just said that Hayden will be playing in this game against UCF. Let's clap that up for him. I'm glad to see him back because I think that with Hayden and Micah Welch, you're getting a two double-hitted monster. You're getting two guys that can run inside, run outside, that can cause a lot of problems for teams. And I think they need to continue the formula of running the ball, because certainly UCF is going to attempt and is going to try to run the ball against CU, should I say. They're going to try to run the ball against Colorado. They're going to try to run the ball down our throat because that's exactly what they do. Their opponents that they went against were not world beaters. Here you see right there, and we know what Travis Hunter can do. We know what my man Jimmy Horn Jr. can do. Here's another picture of him, and we've already learned that Wester, when he's got everything working right for him, he can make plays. Another thing we have to give an honorable mention to Amarion Miller. This was the play that he made, the big touchdown, where everybody thought he was down by a knee, but he wasn't down. The guy for Baylor tried to tackle him. He was able to keep his balance and stay up and kept that ball and was running down the field, made a big, big play. That's Amarion Miller. And Coach Prime has been asked about this young man. I've been asking about him. I want to see him in the game more. I think these guys, I'm going to say it again, we need packages, Coach Prime. We need special packages for special situations. Create packages to get these guys on the field. Because I think the more reps that Amarion gets, the better he's going to get. The more reps that Michael Welsh get. Obviously, Hayden needs to get reps. Obviously, Isaiah Augustin, he did a good job last week. He's obviously got a lot of reps last week and still needs to get reps. I just think they need to continue to rotate the running backs, get them in the game in different situations that works to their strength, not their weaknesses. Continue to do what they do. Keep the pressure off of Shedeur, where he doesn't have to get sacked and hit and take all this, all the punishment. And I have to say something here, and I'm not happy that I have to bring this up, but when it comes to Shedeur, it's true. I've looked at the numbers. I looked at the stats. They say that Shedeur has been sacked already 16 times in the season. That is not a good stat, y'all. I hate to bring this up, but I got to. He's been sacked 16 times in just the 3 games that they've played. That's not good. So last week, someone, I don't know who it was, someone came into the chat room and said, hey, he really got sacked about 8, maybe 5 or 8 times. And I was kind of like, nah. But no, I correct myself. Yes, Shedeur did take some hits between 5 and 8 times a week ago. Okay? Now, the good thing about this, if we can even say it's a good thing, that I want to bring up is that UCF is not a good sacking team. Their defensive line has not been able to generate but 1 sack on the quarterback within 3 games. What are those 3 games? I give you the data. I give you the numbers. They played their first game during the season. UCF played against New Hampshire. They beat New Hampshire 57. Hear me out, folks. 57-3. Now, you would think with them dominating and putting up those kind of numbers that they could generate more sacks because New Hampshire is not a world beater football team. So they beat them 57-3, and then they played against Sam Houston, another team that's not a world beater. They beat Sam Houston 45-14 UCF. Okay, then just last week, prior to getting ready to play against CU this week, they beat TCU, a team that Colorado beat real bad last year. And Shedeur put up, what did he put up? 510 yards in that game, 4 TDs. Shedeur had an off-the-hook game, far as I can remember, that was off the hook. Well, once again, UCF beat TCU 35-34 by just 1 point. So it was a very close game. And out of all those 3 games, and I got to be honest, New Hampshire is not a world beater football team. Sam Houston is not a world beater team. TCU is nowhere near the team that they were touted to be just a year ago. And you saw what we did to them. And so I can say with pure confidence that this team, UCF, has not played anybody so far of the caliber of a CU football team. They have not played against a quarterback like Shedeur. They have not played against a running back like a Micah Welsh. They haven't gone against a receiver. Let's just tell the truth here and shame the devil. They haven't gone up against this receiving core of Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn Jr., Amari Miller, Will Sheppard, and this is a game that Will Sheppard could exercise those demons. The last few games, he's had problems with dropping footballs. He dropped a football against Baylor that could have really set them up once again to go into overtime in the way that LaJohntay Wester was able to make things happen. But Will Sheppard, this is a game that he could break out in. I predict that this could be a breakout game for a guy who is considered an NFL prospect, ladies and gentlemen. So he's got to have a breakout game. I think Amari Miller can do damage in this game. And I think LaJohntay Wester, Travis Hunter should be able to have a field day in this game if all goes well, because like I said, they've been playing teams like New Hampshire, Sam Houston, and TCU. These are not world beater teams by no stretch of the imagination. So therefore, I don't want them to be overconfident, but they should be confident in what they can do. Okay? Against this football team, when you got running backs like Hayden, here he is. Okay? This is what he did against North Dakota State before he got hurt at some point in the season, early season of this season, and he was out. Okay? He did not play against Baylor. We could have used him against Baylor, and we know what this young man can do right here. Jimmy Horn, we know what he can do, and as I said before, this young man right here, Amarion Miller, I feel is a star that is ready to break out in this game and do some serious damage. And I do mean serious damage. So when you look at this matchup between UCF and Colorado, this will be a battle of coaches that know each other. Coach Gus Malzahn is a good friend of Coach Prime. They know each other from some time back. Give you a little update. Coach Gus Malzahn said in his press conference, and I'm going to play that portion of that press conference, that he has a lot of respect for Coach Prime, but he also has a special respect for Shedeur. You know why? Because at one point in time, he wanted to recruit Shedeur. And he has Shedeur in his mind. He's very concerned about what Shedeur can do. He talked about the game last week in which Shedeur was able to scramble around and cause a lot of havoc. And I think Coach Malzahn is very concerned about him. Life and Football went live tonight. I give him a shout out as well. And he said in the title of his video that Coach Gus Malzahn has a lot of concern and stress over Shedeur. No, well, Life and Football was telling the truth. Tell the truth. The God's honest truth. This man is very, very concerned about Shedeur, y'all. Very, very concerned. Has Shedeur in his brain, which can only work to the advantage of our team or to CU, because this man can't get Shedeur out of his brain. He's very concerned. I'll tell you why. Let me put this up here. Says right here, check this out. Yes, UCF football coach Gus Malzahn is concerned about Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback for Colorado Buffaloes. Pressure. Malzahn believes that putting pressure on Sanders is key to stopping Colorado's offense. He says that Sanders is a veteran who can stay calm under pressure, extend plays like he did last week with the Hail Mary with his feet. Yes, he can. Pass rush. Malzahn says that UCF needs to step up their pass rush to contain Sanders. Now, I'm going to say this to you. They're going to have a hard time because, like I said before, believe it or not, UCF has only garnered 1 sack of the quarterback in 3 games that they've played. They're having a hard time getting more penetration on the quarterback. And matter of fact, to be quite honest with you, Coach Prime also said in his press conference, which I'm going to play, that he believes that the defensive line for CU can get pressure on the quarterback, but that he needs to see more of it. We noticed that they are causing quarterbacks to scramble to try to get away, but Coach Prime wants to see, just like Malzahn wants to see it for his team, Coach Prime wants to see CU actually get more sacks, more pressure on the quarterback than they so far have done. So both coaches are of the same mindset. Coach Prime and Coach Gus are of the same mindset that they want to get pressure on each other's quarterbacks, and they want that pressure right now. And we're going to be the ones witnessing this weekend to see what's going to happen. I'm going to say that the advantage goes to CU. I think I'm going to say I believe that, and I feel that, and I know that Shedeur, I think, is going to have a monster game. Now, provided we got to know what the weather is going to be like, because they've got the storm out there. You know, weather impacts games. But I think that Shedeur could have a monster game against this team because they don't particularly put pressure on the quarterback that well. And as I said before, this UCF team has played nobody so far in their schedule like Colorado. If you agree with my assessment so far, put sevens in the chat room. I appreciate everybody that's here tonight. We're getting into this. Make sure you hit the likes. Please hit the likes if you're watching tonight. I really appreciate it. We got Ed Houston in the house. Chad is in the house. Peggy Roster's come in. Griffin Notary Services LLC has come in. He puts a 7. Cut Dog agrees. Keith King says salute. Thank you. Chucky Harris puts 7s. Yeah, thank you. Shirley, another mod, comes in and puts a 7. Rico is saying, I believe you're saying a 7 as well. So it looks like people are agreeing with the assessment so far that they're going to have to definitely do what they can to cause a lot of havoc, confusion, and havoc against this UCF team. When I mean havoc, I want to see receivers moving around, creating matchup problems for them, creating all sorts of things that they haven't seen from the few teams that they've played so far. So this is very important in this matchup. Now, let me put this up. Last week in the matchup, this is the predictor. Most people are predicting that, according to ESPN analysis, they've got CU as an underdog. I can't believe this, folks. They've got UCF at an 82.1% of beating CU. I don't agree with this analysis by ESPN. According to their analysis, I don't agree with it. CU has a 17.9% analysis chance of beating UCF according to the ESPN analysis, an analysis that I don't really agree with whatsoever. But, you know, then let's bring up this right here. The UCF Knights, first Big 12 FBS 3-0. Their passing yards for the season in the nation, they lead the nation 166 in the nation when it comes to passing. So should we respect this team and say, hey, let's not go out there and say, well, they can't pass against us? No, but seems to me that passing is not the strength of UCF. Rushing is the strength of this team. They ranked so far within 3 games, and let's be honest, TCU is not a world beater. Sam Houston is not a world beater. New Hampshire is not a world beater team. But so far, they ranked number 1 in the nation in rushing yards at 37.5.7 RYPGs, okay? Total yards per game, they rank in the nation 3rd in total yards per game in just a small sample size of 3 games against 3 teams that were really not really great teams. And TCU is probably the better of all the 3 teams that they have played so far, quite obviously. And this is what they have to concern themselves with. I want to put up this man right here. R.J. Harvey has already said in the press conference that he doesn't believe anybody can stop him. He believes in himself. He has high confidence, which a young man should have high confidence. But this is what we need to be concerned about. This guy is the real deal. He's an NFL prospect. Let me show you why this guy is a real deal. And mind you, he did this against 3 teams that are not great teams, but he did it, okay? I got his stats. In the first game against New Hampshire, R.J. Harvey put up 142 yards rushing, okay? In the second game against Sam Houston, he put up 126 yards rushing. Now, you would say, hey, he did it against really poor teams. What's the big deal? Well, against TCU, he put up 180 yards rushing. So what I'm saying to you is that UCF is a run-heavy offense and a run-heavy philosophy when it comes to their offense. They're going to try to run the ball, and I mean run the ball, because I think that a lot of people, including this UCF team, they probably feel that, hey, you know, CU can't stop anybody. They can't stop the run. We see how some teams are able to run the ball here and there on them. We got a really good back here. Let's punch it on them. Let's punch it on them, right? Let's control the clock. Let's control time of possession. Let's really show them what we're made of. And I think they're going to try to do a lot of running, a lot of dicing here and there. We got to be prepared for this. Now, last week, CU, whether it be, let's put this man up here and celebrate him once more, because I was impressed with this man right here, okay? Cameron Craig, he was a big part of stopping and neutralizing the running game from time to time that Baylor was trying to display last week. This man was playing at a high level. He was all over the field. And what I'm saying is all hands on deck. We need linebacker Bentley to be all over the place. We need BJ Green to be all over the place. We need Nakai Hill Green, the linebacker who came over to us by way, I believe, of Michigan transfer. We need him to be all over the place. I think I want to say Shedeur might be available this weekend. I'm not sure. Coach Prime has talked about it. I'm going to play some footage on that. We need all hands on deck. Coach Prime has even said that he thinks that Deion Sanders will be back at some point soon to play. But we gotta understand what we're dealing with here with this young man right here at running back. I think if we neutralize R.J. Harvey, we can stop this team. We can really, because their passing game, although they do have some talented wide receivers, they have one in particular in K. Hudson, who's putting up numbers too, and I'm going to talk about him. I think we can still hurt this football team if we take away the guy that you see on the screen right here. R.J. Harvey is a running back from UCF. He emerged as one of the most productive backs in the Big 12 during the 2023 season, y'all. Okay? He's an Orlando native. He had some early career setbacks that hurt him in the beginning of his career. Now, in 2022, he earned all AAC honors. Harvey had a breakout season in 2023 last year, rushing for 1,416 yards, 16 touchdowns. He finished 4th in UCF single-season history for rushing yards, tied for 2nd in rushing TDs. This guy's not a pushover. We got to recognize that. Harvey late season surge was particularly impressive as he racked up 1,038 yards over the final 8 games of last year's season. So he's coming in as a guy who's very confident in his ability. Y'all. So this is the guy that they're going to be banking on to make things happen. Let me also go over some numbers from last year with this team, UCF. The UCF Knights were ranked 82nd in the country in defense last year. That's not good. UCF had to rally on its 41st ranked offense. So the offense was ranked 41st. Not good. The UCF Knights had the 42nd ranked offense last year in terms of passing yards. So not very dangerous at that time, okay? UCF ranked the 9th worst in FBS in rushing defense with 194.4 rushing yards. This UCF team last year was 74th ranked in defense last season in terms of third down efficiency. And I'm going to say it again as a reminder to everybody. They struggle with stopping UCF was at the bottom in stopping the run just a year ago and only got to the quarterback one time. So they're struggling with stopping the run themselves. They're struggling with getting pressure on the quarterback. All of this, I think, fits into the advantage of CU. Because if Shedeur has more time to throw the ball, and then they also blend in the run, UCF can't stop them. They won't be able to stop them if they struggle to get pressure on Shedeur. And this might be a breakout game for the offensive line to really keep Shedeur clean in this game. I hope they can, because as I said, Shedeur on the year has been sacked 16 times, and that's 16 times too damn much. Do y'all agree with me?
Tell the truth.
I appreciate everybody in the chat room that's come in. Thank you for coming over. Let me talk about this young man right here, the receiver. This right here is K. Hudson. He's one of their top receivers. Let me give you a breakdown of what he did. Against Sam Houston, he put up 104 yards receiving. Against TCU, which they beat 35-34, he put up 145 yards receiving. That's K. Hudson. He's one of their go-to receivers. So what I would like to see is I want to see this man right here, Travis Hunter. Would you agree that they should be locking Travis Hunter up against every team's best receiver so you can take him away? Take him out of the equation. Take him completely out of the situation. That's what I would like to see. What do you say? Let's go into the reaction studio and let you hear what the coaches had to say about this upcoming game, and everybody that's involved in it. This is going to be something else. It's really exciting. Let's hear what Coach Prime had to say about UCF himself, and here we go.
It was tremendous. I love what he's brought to college football. A lot of similarities. He does it his way, and I love the way he does it. He's unapologetic about the way he does it, and he's with a bunch of Florida boys, which is my home state, which I absolutely adore. And it's going to be a great game. I look forward to the contest. They run the ball extremely well. They get to the ball on defense. Pretty much a veteran team when you're looking at several.
They are a veteran team, but they're a veteran team that does not put enough pressure on the quarterback. They are a little one-dimensional, even though they have a young man in K. Hudson that can make some plays. I just think that in this game, as a game plan, I would like to see CU completely take away their run and cause them to have to focus on passing the ball, take away the guy that runs the ball very well, take away their ability to have control and possession of the football, which means time of possession. Take that away from them.
Seniors on each side of the ball, so that's experience, a tremendous amount of experience, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. Big quarterback, strong guy that can not only throw the football, but he could run as well. So we got our work cut out.
Now, this young man he's talking about is K. Jefferson, who played at Arkansas at one point in time, ladies and gentlemen. He is the quarterback for UCF. Coach Prime is right. He is someone that you definitely have to respect. What's unique about this young man is that he's a big quarterback, y'all. He's big. You see him on the screen right there. He's a big dude, and he can run. He's a big guy that can run and throw the ball. And I got to be honest, we have had a lot of problems so far in the last few games dealing with quarterbacks that can move like this guy right here. And you see on these pictures, he's moving, okay? So he's got the feet to move and will and deal on the ground. He's got a strong body where he can, he could take some hits, some tackles. He can run some guys over. So one of the things I'm concerned about CU is I want to see better tackling. One of the reasons why the special teams, if you agree or disagree with me, one of the reasons why the special teams were so bad last week is that they took bad angles, bad tackling, bad blocking, bad pursuit against the players coming down. And we have seen quarterbacks so far that when the defensive line is flushing them, they're able to run. This guy right here, who once played at Arkansas, Mr. K. Jefferson, is a guy that will take off on you, a guy that has no problem getting physical. And this is something that we got to take a very good look at. Let's look at his stats last week. So Shedeur went 110 for 162 last week. No. These are his total numbers. These are total numbers. Shedeur has 1,340 yards passing, 11 TDs, 2 interceptions. Okay? K. Jefferson has only thrown the ball, ladies and gentlemen. I got to be honest, this is for 563 yards on the season. Total yards so far of passing. He has 1 interception, but he's got 5 touchdowns. So he's got only 563 yards. This is the thing I don't understand. I would think that if they're playing New Hampshire, who they beat at 50, they beat 57-3. Bear with me here. If they beat Sam Houston 45-14, I would think this young man's passing numbers would be higher. But like I said, the running game is their bread and butter. Let's look at the rushing yards in comparison. Okay, Michael Welsh is leading the team with 18 carries with 87 yards as of right now with 2 TDs. R.J. Harvey has 59 carries for a total of 448 yards, 8 touchdowns on the year so far. When you look at the receiving comparison between Travis Hunter and Kay Hudson, Travis Hunter has 37 receptions for a total of 472 yards, 5 TDs. Kay Hudson has 13 receptions for 310 yards and 2 TDs. So these are the production of their key players for both teams so far. K. Jefferson has not put up a lot of big numbers as far as passing, but one thing I notice about him, you see he's got 5 touchdowns. He has a nose so far for putting the ball in receivers' hands, running backs' hands for touchdowns, folks. That's one of the analysis that I wanted to bring to your attention as we continue with Coach Prime.
For us. Let's go.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Nikki Edwards, Q Sports Report. As you mentioned, you're facing a run-heavy offense.
Let me just say this to you, Maya. Maya, the offensive line, you're absolutely right.
Tell the truth.
The offensive line that you see right here, this offense, that's his offensive line. Let's look at our offensive line right here. That's Coach Gus's Malzahn's offensive line. Let's look at our offensive line right here, folks. Boom. There go number 77, Jordan Seaton. That's our offensive line right there. You're absolutely right. They best to be on point. And I mean, they best to be on point. You know why? Because this is one of those sneaky games after coming off a big win against Baylor where you go in there and you say, hey, they can't really put pressure on the quarterback. Maybe they're one-dimensional with their running game. We got this. You go in there. This is one of those games that can sneak up on you real fast. We can't have that. Go in there and take care of business is what we want to see. Okay? Take care of business. Okay? Let's go back to Coach Prime.
How is Robert Livingston and the defense preparing for such a fit?
Well, we got to load the box up and pray and stop the run. I feel good about our scheme. I feel good about what I saw at practice today. I feel good about what we've been accomplishing versus the run defensively. We got to improve in some certain areas, but I think we get Shedeur back this week as well.
Okay, so I was correct. So this week, for this game, they're going to get Shedeur back. That's the defensive tackle. They need him, especially to stop the run. You see how it all comes together, everybody? They need him to stop that run. They need Bentley to show up. They need B.J. Green to show up. They need Kai Hill Green to do what he's been doing so far. Stoudemire Carter, we need him to continue what he's doing in his progression as a player. Trevor Woods to continue doing what he's doing. This game is a game that comes down to fundamentals. That fundamentals, everybody, is one word. It's called tackle. Just tackle. Tackle.
Tell the truth.
That's a tremendous plus because of his attitude, his leadership, and the way he works. Tremendous plus.
Hey, Coach, Rylan Scholes from Ralph Airport.
How you doing?
So you've been doing good. You've been really complimentary of Coach Malzahn.
Tyler, that's right. They do need him.
Big 12 Media Day on. He's been very complimentary to you as well. What does it mean to be coaching against a colleague and a friend like Coach Malzahn on such a big stage?
Well, it's an honor. It's an honor. You got to understand, I was a high school coach visiting those guys, taking my kids on the college tours. And now to have the opportunity to coach on the same field, it's an honor. It's a tremendous honor. And I got love for him. I mean, after we played him, then I could call him for advice. I don't want to, he's not giving me advice before, but he's one of the guys that I would call for advice on certain situations that may occur with college football players. I'm pretty sure everybody's dealing with the guys that wants the red shirt, and I think everybody's dealing with that right now. So you're having those meetings. We're not the only one having several meetings, but I'm pretty sure a host of college football coaches are having those, and I would like to know.
Now, Coach Prime is talking about guys that may come to the office and want to redshirt. Can anybody in the chat room, do you know who may be potential players on CU's team that could be asking for a potential red shirt? If you have some clues to that, put that in the chat room and share that information with everybody in the chat room. We definitely would appreciate that.
How they deal with certain situations, but maybe after the game. That's what Chip Kelly told me last year.
All right.
He said, after the game, you can call me.
All right. Let's hear what Coach Gus Malzahn had to say. Obviously, him and Coach Prime have a relationship. From what I understand, he has a lot of respect for Shedeur. As I said before, he's very concerned about Shedeur in this game because they can't get pressure on the quarterback, and he knows that Shedeur has the feet to keep the chains moving, to keep the plays going. And at one point in time, when he was coaching at Auburn, this man, Coach Gus Malzahn, was trying to recruit Deion Sanders. Let's hear what he has to say right here.
Colorado, watched them Saturday night. Real impressive win, the way they won. You look at their offense, they got playmakers. I think it starts with their quarterback. He does a good job of throwing the ball vertically down the field. He can extend plays. That's been very impressive, throwing to his right and his left. He's got speed at receiver. And some playmakers, at the skill position. Defensively, they're aggressive defense. They challenge you, and they got, I guess, 2 NFL coordinators. And so, it's going to be a good test for us, obviously a big game for us being at home. Real excited for our fan base. It's a really good opportunity for our program. Question.
All right. So that's Coach Malzahn, what he had to say there. Let's go to the next the next statement that he had to say right here. Let's just check this out. Check this out. Check this out.
Gus, you mentioned the Shedeur Sanders quarterback. You've had experience with him in the past. You actually recruited him, I think, wasn't it, at Auburn? What do you see of him specifically? What do you need to do to maybe limit him, his ability to get out of the pocket and make plays with his feet?
Yeah, I mean, you got to put pressure on him. There's no doubt. And so far, you know, we've not done a great job of putting pressure on quarterbacks when they've thrown it. So we got
boom. So you hear the coach say it himself. Let's play this back. Listen.
Great job of putting pressure on quarterbacks when they've thrown it. So we got to do a better job of that. And, you know.
So Coach Malzahn is very stressed. That's the word on the streets. And shout out to Life in Football. He talked about that tonight on his program, that Coach Malzahn is very concerned about what Shedeur brings to the table with his ability to keep plays going, because his football team does not do a great job in the analysis tonight. They do not do a great job of getting pressure on the quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. That's an advantage for Shedeur, obviously. And and I'm going to say it again, this is a game where the offensive line of CU should show up and show out, because this team has problems. They can't get to the quarterback. And the advantage is that when I bring up the list, New Hampshire, Sam Houston, and TCU, they haven't, all three of those teams, they haven't played anybody like CU yet. I'm not saying it's a shoe-in for them to win, because you got to take every opponent serious and you don't go to sleep on anybody, or you could find yourself losing. But I see CU being able to beat this team effectively. It might be a pull and tuck game in the beginning, but I think ultimately their more talented roster of players is going to overcome UCF's roster in general and overall, in my opinion. And I think at the end of the day, I think CU is going to end up 4-1 after this game. I really, really can see this becoming the reality. And we know the haters out there don't want to see this become a reality. Let's hear some more from Coach Malzahn.
I think that's going to be a real big key to the game. And, you know, the thing about it last week, you know, he took off and used his feet and made some plays there. But you can just tell he's a veteran guy. You can tell he stays calm, you know, and you can tell he's a smart guy too.
So you hear what Coach Malzahn is talking about. Let's play another clip. And I think in this clip, he's going to have some more interesting things to say here. He had, a lot of these guys, both coaches, Coach Prime and Coach Gus, have a lot of respect for each other because they know each other. Here's another clip right here. Check this out.
At Big 12 Media Day, you said you were a fan of Deion Sanders. What do you admire about him, both as an athlete from his playing days and now as he's become a Division I college football coach?
Yeah, I mean, when he was playing, he's one of the better players to ever play the game. I mean, so, and then, what I admire about him, he does it his way. And, this is a deal where you look at, college football as entertainment, and the juice and the attention he brings to our league, I think, is really good. And so, he does it his way. And
now, one of the things that I like about what Coach Gus said here, and you don't hear a lot of coaches saying this because you got some coaches out here that are actually jealous of Coach Prime. They don't like the fact that he's getting attention and CU's getting attention, is that Coach Gus said that he likes the idea that what Coach Prime is doing is that he's bringing attention to the Big 12, that he brings excitement. And I think that's an honest statement that he said there, because it's true. When he's bringing attention to a conference that needs attention, right? Because you got the SEC, you got all these other conferences out here like the SEC that gets a lot of attention because they produce a lot of championships. A lot of great players are recruited in that league. A lot of great young players are leaving the SEC and going in the first round in the NFL. So I think these other coaches, they need to recognize that Coach Prime brings a certain level of excitement to the game of football, but he's bringing attention and a spotlight on the Big 12, because if you look at all the games that CU has had, they're all on national television. These are games that would have never been televised. All right. Do you think if Coach Prime was not at CU, do you think a Baylor and CU game would be broadcast? Do you think a UCF game in Colorado would be a broadcast game? No. Coach Prime and me and Big Dog Chico has said this on a video. This is prime economics, baby. Prime economics is having not only his coaching, but what it's having economically, what it's doing for college football, as well as what it's doing to the Big 12 conference. That's the truth.
Tell the truth.
Let's continue this.
I'm an old high school coach, and I do it my way. I'm a little bit different too. So, but he has his team playing well, and he's doing a good job.
Coach, you mentioned pressures. UCF has had 1 sack through 3 games, and on the counter note, Colorado has allowed 16 sacks through 4 games.
I want to stop it there because the sports writer made a good point. Once again, UCF has only been able to generate 1 sack, but on the other hand, CU unfortunately has given up 16 sacks to Shedeur already. That's not good. I'm not going to sit up here and play around with you all tonight and sit up there and say, oh, that's not a problem. No, that is a problem. They've got to clean some things up. Of course, they're making adjustments on the offensive line with bringing different guys in to see what chemistry works, but they got to clean it up. Coach Barry made a great point here. He says, you're correct. UCF's D-backs are suspect. UCF only have 1 sack this year, and they beat their best defensive tackle, Johnny Walker, is out injured this game. TCU exposed UCF D-backs. And I think, Coach Barry, that CU, given the talent level on this team, I believe that CU can expose even worse than what TCU exposed. If you think I'm correct, everybody put 7s in the chat room. I believe they're going to expose them even worse because CU has better receivers. A Will Shepard, Wester, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn Jr., Omarion Miller. Damage can be done against this team. You're right.
Expectations to get to Shedeur Sanders?
Well, that's going to be a big key to the game. There's no doubt about it. When you let the guy sit back there and have time, he does a good job. As a matter of fact, he does a pretty good job even when he doesn't have time. He'll hang in there, man. Impressive. Watch him on film. He'll hang in there to the last second, take a lick, and deliver the ball and get back up the next play. And he does a really good job extending plays. Like I said, he can go to his right and his left, and he does a pretty efficient job. There was one play last week, he extended the play and he throws to a guy, and the guy, broke a tackle and went the distance for a touchdown.
Now, Coach Gus Malzahn is being very honest in his assessment, and I think this is a really deep assessment because it's true. How many of you all really picked up on that last week? Most quarterbacks favor one side of their body, right? Right-hand quarterbacks tend to favor throwing the ball on the right side. A left-handed quarterback will favor throwing on their left side, whatever their strongest arm. But if you noticed last week, Shedeur Sanders was very successful at times during that game when he had to make a play under pressure or under no pressure. He seemed to be very good at being able to throw the ball on the left side, or if he's on the right side of the field. They tell you that you don't want to throw across your body, but Shedeur, because he has a strong arm, he seems to be able to adapt to throwing either side. So in a lot of times when they do scouting reports on players, particularly quarterbacks, ladies and gentlemen, they'll say, this player does not like to go to his left side. Make him go to his left side. Rush him on this side to force him to his weak side that he's not a very good thrower on. When it comes to Shedeur Sanders, you can't do that to him because he can throw it on either side. That's a very good point that Coach Gus brought up. Let's continue.
So, you got to do a good job of getting to him and disrupting.
Coach Travis Hunter, one of the best players in the country, talk about the challenge that you guys have on Saturday, defending him, but also seeing him on defense.
Yeah, when you watch them, I mean, he sticks out. I mean, he's the guy that sticks out. He's an elite player. They try to get him the ball on offense, and he does a good job in one-on-one situations, and he's electric when he has the ball in his hands. Defensively, he's a confident guy, and you can see him. And he made the play the other night in overtime that forced the fumble. He's just an elite player. And it's really, really impressive to see what he's doing playing that many snaps. I mean, I've not, since I've been in college football, I've not seen it. But, he's an elite player.
So you see, he has a lot of great praise for him. Let me put this up here for everybody. While UFC's pass rush has consistently come close to getting pressure on the quarterback, they have struggled to finish. Here's some information about UCF's pass rush in 2024. Pressure through 3 weeks. UCF pass rush had 14 hits and 21 hurries on opposing quarterbacks. Listen again, after playing 3 games, I give you the analysis, I give you the information, everybody. After 3 games, and remember, 2 of these games were against a really small schools that are not good, and a TCU team that's not the same team. They only were able to generate 14. They had pass rush had 14 hits and 21 hurries on opposing quarterbacks. After 3 games, that's not good, y'all. UCF's pass rush had just 1 sack, which puts them last in the FBS on a per-game basis. That's not very good, ladies and gentlemen. That is poor. That is very, very, very poor. Let's go. This is a guy that I'm going to show you another one of their players who plays defensive back. He might be their best defensive back. That's Quad. They call him Quad. Quadric is his name. He wears number 10. There's other times where he wears number 37. He's very athletic. One of their better defensive backs. I think he plays a safety in this defense for UCF. And he's a guy that we want to be on the lookout this upcoming weekend in terms of the matchups, and that's Quadric. Let me let you hear what he had to say. And here we go. Check this out, everybody.
Quadric, you guys have a big challenge this week against Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. What did you see so far from film? Did you watch the game on Saturday night? And what do you think the challenge will be for you guys to maybe limit him and the damage that he can do?
I mean, like I just finished watching film with some of the coaches as well, but he's a great quarterback, strong arm. He has the ability to extend plays. When you have a great wide receiver core with speed and a quarterback who has a great arm, who trusts in his arm and his receivers, I mean, it creates a challenge for your secondary. So you got to go out there and do what you got to do. Handy.
I'm going to stop right there. He says it's a challenge for the secondary. Coach Barry came in, left a message and said that their secondary is questionable. He's one of the lead guys in their secondary, and their secondary, I'm going to say again, is questionable. This guy is one of their standout players in their secondary. He's going to be matched up. He's going to have a hell of a time on his hands trying to deal with someone like a Travis Hunter. But this is where these teams get it all wrong. While they worry about Travis Hunter, they better be concerned about the other guys on this team, like Jimmy Horn. All right? They better be concerned about guys like Wester. Let me put these guys up here again. They better be concerned about Jimmy Horn. Jimmy Horn can do some damage. So if they put, and see, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, This is why they were able to win that game against Baylor with the Hail Mary, because Travis Hunter said it himself that the teams basically loaded up against him. And as a result, they did not account for this young man right here, Wester. So while they're worrying about, or this young man is worrying about what Travis can do, and they're worrying about what Shedeur can do, they better worry about what these other players on this team can do. Coach Prime has already said that, yeah, Shedeur is a great quarterback. Travis is a great receiver. But y'all better worry about what these other players can do on this team that can do some damage to you.
Your business.
Quad, going back to the TCU game real quick, going into this game as well, what lessons do you feel like you can learn from that? Because you had mentioned there were mental errors in that first half from TCU that you cleaned up in the second half, playing in another close game in the Big 12. Like, what's some of the lessons you came away with, or the defense came away with, that they can apply next week?
I would say that the lessons we learned from TCU, we just have to communicate better. It was times out there where we were playing together, but we weren't actually playing together. We were just on the field together at times. And
you hear what he said? This is one of their better players. He said there were times when they were on the field when they were just out there, but they weren't really playing together. That goes into what Coach Barry was saying earlier in the chat room about this team, everybody, this team, okay? They may not be ready. They may not be ready for a team like CU, okay? This is one of their leaders here saying that they weren't together like they should be. That's not good. And that could work to the advantage of CU because they're going against a better trio of receivers that they have not matched up with. That's a problem. And this is an area of this football team that CU can exploit to their advantage.
You know, when you see those mistakes, you can see there's miscommunication here, another one here. It would lead up to big plays, which lead up to yards racking up to get them into the end zone.
See what he's saying? This is why they only beat. I give you the damn analysis, everybody. This is why they only beat TCU 35-34. He said they were making mistakes. They weren't playing together as a team. They let too many explosive plays happen. This can work to the advantage of Coach Prime, Shedeur, that receiving core. I think this is going to be, now keep this in mind, we got to look at what the weather is going to be like, because you know when it rains and the weather is bad, it affects what? It affects the receivers. The running backs, they love it. They can, especially if you got a guy like Michael Welsh powering up in there and doing his thing. Right? If you got a kid, or like you got a young man like, let's put him up here, Michael Welsh. Oh, definitely. He'll work fine in that kind of weather where it's raining and he can just get all sloppy with it with the ball in his hands and get guys bouncing off of him. Or we get Hayden like this picture here where he's got a guy that's falling off of him. The running backs, they can play in that bad weather, but it hurts the receiving core, because I hate to use this term, but when you have teams that pass the ball a lot, those are teams that people define as a finesse team, a team that that throws the ball a lot. And passing game takes what? A passing game takes timing. And when you got bad weather and guys are not sticking, they're having bad connection to the soil, they have the cleats are not really working well in that, and you're slipping and sliding, it could really throw the timing of the passing off. So I really wonder how the weather is going to be for this game, considering that they've got this storm situation in the state of Florida. But let's continue with what this young man is saying.
Describe the focus on practice so far this week leading up to this one.
I mean, the focus for each and every game is going to be.
If they don't get to Shedeur, it's going to be a very long night.
Yeah, at an all-time high, because you want to perform at a level where your coach can trust you to go out there where there's no falter or anything that you do. So, I mean, the focus hasn't changed. We just have to pick up the intensity and fix our mistakes from the previous weeks, such as communication aspect, and stay on our P's and Q's.
So it sounds like they've got some problems with communication. I want to see CU exploit that situation with the communication issues that they're having. Let's go into another video with the young man. This is very telling here what he's admitting to us about.
TCU and Colorado are both pass-heavy teams. What's different? What stands out on film watching those two offenses and the way they attack in the passing game?
I would say Colorado, their passing game is very, I'd say very speed-heavy. If you don't get your hands on the receivers, there's a lot of damage they can do to you. Whereas TCU is pretty much the same way, but I would say they just have bigger receivers pretty much. I mean, TCU and Colorado, they're very pass-heavy offenses. So if your secondary isn't on the same page, the damage, just as you can see in the previous game, they can do a lot of damage.
Now, let me stop there. He's right. CU is a very pass-heavy team. But we saw last week that they got the run game going. I want them to get that running game going. They have to, especially if it's raining out there, if the weather is wet and the soil, the turf is wet. Run the football. But this is the opposite. UCF Knights, they are a running team. Their passing game is not the strength of their football team. The strength of their football team, and I'm going to say it again, is this man right here, R.J. Harvey, that you see in these clips. He's a strength. And then one of their key receivers would be Hudson. You take those guys out. You put pressure on those guys, you're going to hurt this football team, y'all. That's the football team. They're run heavy. We're pass heavy. Now what we need to do is stop their running game. I think we can. It's going to be tough because that guy, J.R. Harvey, is no joke. Do I think we could do a better job against their run than what they can do against CU's receiving core? Yeah, I think CU could do a better job against their running game than they're going to be able to do against CU's passing core. I just don't think they're going to be able to match up. And they've already showed against TCU that they were struggling in the matchup. I look like I have a super chat here. Let me see what the brother is saying here. Coach Barry says, thank you for the super chat, my brother.
Thank you for the super chat.
I appreciate that, Coach. Coach Barry says $10 from Coach Barry. My main concern is one of our rookie kickoff kickers have to step up now due to Feely ACL. Either Gerlich. Look, they've got a bunch of kickers. They got to try these guys. Mecca, he said that he feels that he's going to be, I looked at Well-Off Media. I looked at a video where they were talking to Meta, and he said that he's going to play better, that he's figured out why he was kicking low balls. So we have to see. The special teams has got to be special. The special teams has got to be improved. Okay, that's the area on this football team that bothers me in this game because we can't afford to give UCF any life, any confidence in this game where they're running balls back off of kickoff return. We can't have that. We can't have missed kicks and bad punts and all sort of. We can't have that against this team. You don't want to give a team like this confidence. They already, in their own mind, have confidence because they're a 3-0 team. Mind you, they played against a couple of teams that are questionable in their talent. Don't forget to manage the clock. Yes, time of possession is necessary. No doubt about it. Maya says this, like Coach Prime said, when he took over the team, you all better get me now. Right. We all remember that. That's right. That's right.
Lead up to touchdowns over and over.
Colorado has given up 16 sacks in 4 games, but UCF has only gotten 1 sack in the past 3. Do you expect to get to the quarterback? Is that a bigger emphasis this game?
I mean, that's an emphasis every game. We know the DBs, yeah, we have every right to talk to the D-line, but the D-line has every right to talk to us.
Did you hear what he just said? This young man is basically saying that the defensive line for UCF has every right to criticize the secondary, and the secondary is not doing things to make the game easier for the defensive line, and that the secondary defensive line would have every right to have some things to say about them. What it tells me, if they're not doing their job, right? They both can talk about each other, right? It tells me that because they had communication problems against TCU, because they were having a lot of problems, it makes it, to me, it looks like they have some problems. And the goal for CU should be to exploit that issue. They have problems against the pass. I say, yes, run the ball, but damn it, have a good package, have an explosive package to hurt them in their secondary. And we know we got the quarterback in Shedeur Sanders who can get the ball down the field and cause havoc. Here, I'm going to play my last video clip for tonight as we get close to conclusion of Coach Prime kind of wrapping everything up for us very nicely. And here he goes.
Carter can cover tight ends. He could cover receiver. He could cover back. So he gives you depth. You may want to take a linebacker off the field and put him down there and let him do his thing. But he's physical.
Talking about Carter Stoudemire, who has played sensational in the absence of Shiloh Sanders, who Coach Prime did mention that there's a chance that he could be back in the fold, y'all, at some point soon. Let's continue.
He's strong, he's fast, he's smart, and he is gaining experience with every game. So I'm proud of that. Sometimes things work out for the good, man. I mean, you hate for a guy like Shiloh to go down, but Carter got a ton of experience, and he's not afraid to get out there and attempt to make a play. He's not just sitting out there trying to prevent plays. He's trying to make plays now.
Hey, Coach, just what's it like for you and, all the Florida guys on this team to be able to go back to Florida this week?
Well, it's good now. Until you get down there and play, you got to win. We don't want to go down there and think it's just a road trip, it's a field trip. We want to go down there and win. So we're practicing our butt off, trying to make sure we dot I's and cross T's, and we give it a valiant effort. It starts in practice.
Right. They've got to win this game. They can't afford to go down there and get complacent in the fact that, hey, I'm back home. They got to go down there and they got to win this game. And I want to see personally a blowout, everybody. The teams that they should be beating them very convincingly. I don't want to see this game get close. I don't want to see an overtime. I don't even want to see another Hail Mary. I want to see them go into this game, beat this team concisely on the ground, in the air, let the defense fly around and do what they do. Let Robert Livingston get the matchups that he wants defensively to exploit them, to hurt them. And I think this is a game in which we can do some damage on the ground as well, because UCF, they're not that great at run stopping. They've got some problems when it comes to dealing with teams that can run. I want Pat Shurmur to dial up the NFL shit.
Tell the truth.
That I've been asking for. I want Robert Livingston to start dialing up on defense more NFL shit.
Tell the truth.
Let's continue.
Everything starts in practice. I tell the kids this morning, it's like a vending machine. Whatever you put in, you're going to get out. Unless you want to go to Vegas and put a little bit in, you expect to get a lot out. But that's called gambling, where I'm from. And you don't want to gamble with your career, with your life, and with the time you have left. So our Florida boys are excited, but they know we're on the job. It's on the job.
Right.
Hey, Coach, Troy Finnegan, CU Sports Report. I've got a pair of special teams questions for you. Obviously, Jace Feely went out in the last game. What is the plan with the kickoffs moving forward?
Okay, so everybody, here is the plan for the kickoffs.
Pelagio? Palazzo. I said Pelagio? Where did I get that from? I just said Vegas, and that Pelagio was in my mind. I just threw that together. I'm sorry. He did a phenomenal job coming in. We have several kickers that can do it. These guys compete on a daily basis. Even Mata can kick the ball off.
Mata has had problems, Coach Prime. Now, Mata said, let me get his name correct. If I said his name wrong, everybody, excuse me. Mata had a video this week in which he came out and said that he feels that he can clean some things up and be ready for this game, and that he understands why he was getting the low trajectory on his kicks. He's got to clean this up. Also, I want to say, in reference to Mata, you guys probably heard about this. He's had some positive things to say about Jackson State, and saying that, you know, these historical black colleges, there's no colleges like them. He says the atmosphere, the bands, the stadium energy. He says being at an HBCU, that PWIs is not the same. And the rumor out there is that he's going to go and visit Jackson State and watch for their homecoming game. He's going there for homecoming just to support, you know. So that's Mata. He's got Jackson State on his mind. He's got the whole HBC college football experience on his mind that he liked. But Mata, sir, I get it, man. There's nothing like HBCU football. There's nothing like the atmosphere of the bands, the dancing, the crowd, black folks getting down in the seats, dancing, cheering for their team, and homecoming. It's nothing like it. No other PWIs don't have that energy. But, sir, you need to be focusing on kicking that damn football and making sure that damn football goes through those poles. Would y'all agree with me? Put sevens in the chat room if y'all agree with me.
Tell the truth.
Because you're not at Jackson State, you're at Colorado. You can go visit there, that's great. But you need to be kicking footballs through that damn post. Focus, Mata, focus. I'm glad you had great things to say about HBCUs and the experience. That's great. But you need to be focusing on what you're supposed to be doing here at CU right now.
Tell the truth.
Let's continue.
We have several kickers that can do a valuable job. The problem is we want the ball in the end zone.
Right.
I mean, Jimmy does not get to return a ball when we're on the kickoff return, and we want that same sentiment. We don't want them to be able to return anything. If not, we just got to bloop kick it and hope they fair catch or get down the field and stay in our lanes.
And then we saw Jimmy come in late as the punt returner for LeJohntay. Was that a permanent move or just
No, that was just timing. That was just something, you know, if I have that feeling that Jimmy may hit it a little harder, but LeJontay has a certain style. Jimmy has a certain style. I just thought we needed another style on that particular punt return. But no, LeJontay is the guy right now.
Hey, Coach.
All right.
Just with Omari.
So, everybody, you heard it from Coach Prime himself. LeJontay Wester will be the main punt return man. He said that every now and then, if he wants a change of style, a change of whatever he thinks what player may have the hotter hand, and we're going to see Jimmy Horn out there as well on punt returns. But he's right now, looks like Coach Prime feels that LeJontay Wester has the hot hand, y'all. Let's continue.
Miller, do you think we would be seeing an increased role from him moving forward?
Well, the guys are rotate. I think they rotate quite a bit. You know, he got in there, made a tremendous play. But we got a plethora of receiver, man. You can close your eyes and pick. So I don't think it's any controversy. I think we know Will is the guy. He's a dog. Marion will come in and do his thing. And this stuff is established at practice, not in the game. It's the consistency at practice. That's how we choose who starts and who does not start.
Right, but let me just say this. I've been saying this for a while, everybody. When you've got this much talent on a football team, particularly in your receiving core, I think that depending on the team that you play against and the matchup that you have, when you look at the other team's personnel and what they do best, what they don't do so best, and then you look at your personnel and you see what type of receivers you have. For example, on some teams, you have receivers that are possession receivers. You have guys that are burners that can get down the field. They're fast receivers. You have guys that are best at being a slot receiver. You have guys that run great routes. You have guys that are tough guys that can do the reverses and do the underneath type stuff. I really think that I want to see Coach Prime and Coach Pat Shermer. I really think, sir, with all due respect to you, I really would like to see more packages. I want to see more guys on the field, mix it up a little bit more. Make elaborate packages where you can get a Marion Miller in the game a little bit here and there. Let them get reps. They're only going to get better, Pat Shurmur, if you give them more reps, Coach Prime. They've got to get more reps to get more confidence and get better. Change it up. You've got so much talent on this team. You could really do a lot of damage to teams when you create these package groupings of receivers that can do certain things and play them to their strength and use that offense to utilize the strength of these players. I want to see more of the utilization. I want to see more of the running the, what do you call that? I want to see more movement in the offense so that you can see what the defense is playing in. Are they playing man-to-man? Are they playing defense? I want to see more activity at the line of scrimmage when you get ready to snap a ball or prior to snapping the ball so that you can see what is this team playing in? How can we exploit what they're playing? I want to see more audibling where Shedeur can audible out of things when he sees that it's obvious that the defense is playing man-to-man, they're playing a zone, they're about to get ready to blitz, let's train some coverages, some blocking coverages with the offense. I want to see more NFL shit, like I've been saying. You got an NFL coordinator. Let's see more of that stuff because that's really what's going to take this team to the next level, in my humble opinion.
Hi, Coach.
Taylor.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Fantastic, sir. Taylor Sadowski, Sports Illustrated. I know that you've mentioned in the past that no one really cares about the offensive balance until like a loss goes down. But with that said, just seeing this run game being like more dynamic as it goes on. But with that said, seeing that being improved, like how does that look in your eyes, like in the future too as well?
We still got so much farther to go. We could do so much better. We just got to hold our blocks. We got to stay low. We got to be a lot more physical. And not just the coaches, the players, you got to have a commitment to that.
Right, Coach Prime. You got to have a commitment. The offensive line could hold their blocks better, but you also have to be committed to running the ball by giving guys more reps. And when you got a running back who's hot, let's say, for example, against UCF this weekend, let's say Hayden, who's coming back to play this weekend, y'all. Let's give that a clap. Let's say that Hayden is playing, and then you also got our man Micah Welsh. Any one of these guys that gets a hot hand, when they get a hot hand, keep giving them the ball, keep feeding them the ball. The guy that gets hot, give it to him. If a guy's in a groove, he's got chemistry going, get him the ball. I think they need to give these guys more carries, increase the carries. Good things could happen when you do that. Meaning, one, control of time of possession, less sacks on Shedeur, better field position, right? Better decisions that you have to make in field position because you're not playing way behind the chains. And then Shedeur can eat teams apart because now you can blend in the play action because you're running the ball. Obviously, this is a pass-heavy team, but when you're playing these better teams, as you go on in this schedule, you've got to, and I know we talked about balance, but damn it, you've got to have a good distribution between run and pass and be effective as possible.
Like you got to, when you hear that run call, you know, signal in from the sideline, you got to say, all right, it's not going to be me. I'm going to whoop my man. You got to have that thing in you that you know is coming behind you. Let's go.
Right,
and
Coach
we could
Prime,
call
I agree
100
with you.
runs, but they gotta purposely do what we ask them to do.
Right. But the coaching staff has to also stay committed to running the ball as well. Respectfully to you, Coach Prime.
You want to run to just take pressure off the passing game because now you play action and it holds that linebacker just a step next to you.
Didn't I just say that? The play action will open up the passing game. And he's right. It also freezes the linebackers. It creates problems with the safeties because why? Because you are no longer a one-dimensional football team.
Jamie and LaJohntay get behind those backers, and we got action. And everyone knows, man, all you got to do is just give 2-3 seconds and we're good. I think everybody in the nation knows that. All you guys know that in here, ladies and gentlemen, that you give him 2 seconds, he's good.
All right. All right, let's get back into the regular studio here. Very good stuff. Coach Prime is telling it. Let's go back up in here. Appreciate everybody that's here tonight. If you're still watching and you're here, do me the greatest favor. What I want to say to you right now is I want to say thank you tonight for watching the program. I want to say like and comment on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video on your social media. You could do it now. You could do it whenever, but please do it. Send it to your Twitter, to your Facebook, whatever you're using, your X. Tell people about the channel. I will be going live this upcoming weekend and doing a post-game show. And I'm hoping that it's a post-game show in which we have another victory within the Big 12. There's so many things that we need to be aware of when it comes to this football team that we're getting ready to go against. One, they are a run-heavy team. They've got a talented running back. And this young man, I'm going to put him back up here again one more time just to emphasize what I'm talking about. This young man right here is RJ Harvey. Loves to run the ball. Very effective guy. He's put up some good numbers the first couple of games of the season. He's already saying he doesn't believe anybody can stop him. Well, we'll see what CU has in store for him on Saturday. I think they've got something to say about that in the game. Of course, Quad is the young man that you heard talking. He's their defensive back or their safety. And he sat up there and he admitted in his own press conference that they've got some communication issues in their secondary. They've got some issues with giving up big plays, which can all work in the hands of CU, everybody. This game, to me, almost is like a game in which that can be, how can I say it, a tailor-made game for CU to dominate. As Coach Prime says, get out there and dominate. I think this is a game that they could actually have a game where everything hits on all cylinders. Offensively, defensively, the mindset has to be right. Go into this game and you take it lightly, you can have a team in UCF, the UCF Knights, that could beat them if they go into this game and they take this team lightly and don't go in there and take care of business. We want to see them take care of business. They become 4-1. And they can move on to the next opponent. Let's look at the schedule here. For example, I want to put this schedule up here, for example. They're at UCF, and then they get to play Kansas State at home at Folsom Stadium. They get to play them at home. That's when they're going to go against Dylan Edwards, who's been playing good football for Kansas State. They go against him at home. And then the next opponent would be at Arizona. They got Cincinnati at home. I think they can beat Cincinnati. They got Texas Tech. These are beatable teams, y'all. They got Utah, which is going to be a tough game. But guess what? They got Utah at home. I like the odds at home. They got Kansas at Kansas, and they got Oklahoma State. These are teams that they can beat if they're on the right focus, if they're playing together as a team, they're working as one and not against each other. And get the communication. Always keep that communication going well. As you can see, UCF has problems in their secondary with their communication. Their defensive line can't get to the quarterback consistently. It's only can work in the hands of CU. And I want to see them explore everything in this upcoming Saturday's game. I appreciate all of you watching tonight. Let me go in here. Before we end the show, let me read some of your comments and see what you got to say here. We got Fan Atlantic Sports says Utah is going to be a tough one. Utah defense travels. Right, they are tough. But these games that they're going to play before they play Utah should help to gain their confidence. And it should be helping them to fine-tune what they're doing wrong and work on their weaknesses and maintain their strengths. Let's see what Coach Barry is saying. KJ Jefferson is not a great passer, and he has slow feet. He rallies on his running. He rarely Let me see. He rallies on his running game. He relies on his running game that includes himself. CU's going to stop them in that track. But Coach Barry, he's a big guy, right? And what's one of the things that they got to clean up? They got to tackle better. You know, this is one of those games where you don't want a guy like Jefferson getting confidence. And I know you say he got slow feet, but you don't want him getting confidence. We want to put pressure on him, keep him in the pocket. You said he's not a great passer. Thank you for that information. You're saying he's not a great passer. We're talking about this young man right here for UCF. This is their starting quarterback this upcoming Saturday. He originally was at Arkansas. I don't know why he left Arkansas, what was the issue there for him, but here he is right here with UCF Knights. There he is right there. Coach Barry says that he ain't really that much of a running threat. I guess, you know, he's saying that, his running, you're saying he's got slow feet and that he's not a really great passer. And maybe that explains, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but I'm telling the truth. Maybe this explains that in 3 games, he's got only 563 yards throwing, although he's got 5 touchdowns. Whereas Shedeur Sanders has 1,340 yards passing, 11 TDs, 2 interceptions. So you may be hitting on something that he's not maybe a great passer, but we're going to see for ourselves what this man is made of. But I want to see our defense come up and show up big. I want to see Bentley show up big. I want to see Carter Salamander show up big. I want to see DJ McKinney show some improvement in his techniques in covering receivers. I want to see Travis Hunter covering their best receiver, one of their best receivers, which is K. Hudson. All right? Neutralize that man. I want to see our linebackers shooting those gaps. I want to see our linebackers all over the place, flying all over the place. I want to see Cameron Craig, I want to see that brother flying all over the place just like he did just last week.
Tell the truth.
And give him props. Bentley, we need Bentley to continue to be Bentley. Looks like, according to Coach Prime, looks like Shedeu's going to be back. Shedeur is a run stopper. Shedeur is a guy that can create disruption within that middle of that defensive line. We're going to need that, man, because we're going up against a guy in RJ Harvey who's a running back, who's very relentless, plays with confidence, and we want to neutralize this man. We want to make sure this man doesn't get his butt in it. We want to keep him as quiet, and I mean quiet all night. Yes, sir. I think we stop their running game. We basically neutralize this football team.
Tell the truth.
What do you all think about that assessment that I've just have given you tonight? I appreciate everybody coming over. Let's look at some more thoughts in the chat room. Let's see. Coach Barry says, I hope Bentley turf toe is 100% now. I hope he's going to be ready to go. I just want him to go. I want him to go if he's healthy. Only if he's healthy. I want him to be able to play. Let's see. Brother Pierce Brown comes in and says, C defense will show this game. CU's defense will show this game and show out. That's my prediction. All right. I like that prediction. I like it. Maya says this. Good night. Oh, good night, Maya. Thank you for coming over and supporting the show. We're about to get ready to wrap everything up. I know I've been going kind of late here. Fan Athletic Sports says CU's offense can put pressure on UCF by scoring early. Let me have some water here. My throat's kind of bothering me. Scoring early and getting a lead. UCF offense is not built to come from behind. Thank you for that assessment.
Tell the truth.
That's a good assessment. We got my man, Ed, in the house. Ed in Houston. Hey, my brother, good to see you. He says, like, share, and subscribe. Definitely like, share, and subscribe.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
We got the weakness of the team is the offensive the OC, the offensive coordinator, and the head coach. The scheme is horrific. The plays take too long to develop. Short passes screen. Are you talking about CU? I guess that's his criticism for CU. We got my man, we got we got my REPREZENT in the house saying 100%. What's the 100% about? We got Vance saying this, bro, you on fire. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, everybody. Oh, how you doing, my sister? How you doing, sister? I like your avatar. She says, Cameron Craig is a dog. I can't wait to see him play on Saturday. Sister Mimi, I hope I'm saying the last few part of your name. Pretty Mimi, I think. Pretty Mimi, if that's the name that I'm saying correct, and I apologize if I'm not saying the name correct. I like what you said, sister. That's a good point, 100% on point. You are 100% right. I give you a clap for that. Alicia, how you doing? How you doing, Alicia? Good to see you, my sister. She says, good night, great live. Yeah, good night, everybody. I know that it's, things are getting late. I'm going to go live this upcoming Saturday to do a post-game show after that game is over. So we're going to have a lot of fun on Saturday talking CU football, and especially if they win the game, we're going to definitely have a lot to talk about. I'm definitely going to definitely read your comments. At some point in time, I'm going to have to open up the channel for people to come on a panel and give their opinions about what's going on. That's something that I really still would like to do. I know I've been talking about that, but I do want to do that at some point soon. Let me see. Stop the running game 100% was, agreeable. Okay, you agree with me stopping their running game? Okay, thank you. Coach Barry says, I'm glad Stoudemire is back 100% healthy and playing well now. Yeah, and it seems like his confidence is getting better, y'all. What do y'all think about that? That's it, and that's my photo. Hey, thank you, sister. Beautiful photo, beautiful. Sister, the ladies look beautiful tonight on their avatars. I love it. Oh, let me see here. Let me see who else I want to put on here before I get ready to get out of here. Let's hear Coach Barry said this. Glad we have Hayden and Welsh at running back to go with our strong receiving room. That includes confident Amarion now. Yeah, Amarion Miller, want to see him in the mix. He did some things last week. We got to see more sample size of him. We want to see him in the game. Everybody, I think I've gone on with the show as long as I can go. So I think at this point, everybody, I think it's time to end the program. I put a crescendo on the program tonight. I want to appreciate all of you out there for watching the show tonight. I love this football that I got. College football 2025, Madden style. I love everybody out there for supporting the channel, watching the videos, sharing the videos. Appreciate you. Once again, Saturday's a big game for us. I'll be doing a post-game show like everybody else. We need to come out and start quick, start fast. Don't get behind. Don't let this team get confidence. Don't let them think that they can win this game because they get their running game going or their quarterback gets going. We need to neutralize everything. This is a game where Shedeur Sanders should not be getting sacked all throughout the game. They don't do a good job putting pressure on the quarterback. This is the game that Shedeur Sanders should put up 500 yards passing. He should have 4 or 5 TDs in one game. And the receiving core should show up and show out and do what they know they can do. Y'all take care. Love you all. Thank you for supporting the channel tonight. Let's get on out of here, everybody. Peace. Share the video. Everybody that watches this video on the replay, make sure you share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification and make sure that you get all live streams when I go live and uploads as well. Y'all take care tonight, everybody. Peace. Peace, everybody.
things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. Staying on my mind on the usual. Wanna call you up like we used to do. Tell you all the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. I've been feeling like a loner lately. Been a minute since I woke up feeling sober. When awake, I'm seeing nightmares. Sleeping, you are right there like you never left. And I am hoping that you might care. Change on me. What about us? What about the times when I feel like I could trust? Yeah, now I'm on a chase for the same shit. I hear the sirens in the lake and wanna chase them. Beauty on the out, but I'm surrounded by the fake shit. Beasts in a maze. Sing about freedom like a bird in a cage. That's a whole different pain. Calling up my homies and it's hard to explain. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Staying on my mind on the usual. Wanna call you up like we used to do. Tell you all the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. Staying on my mind on the usual. Wanna call you up like we used to do. Tell you all the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. I wonder if you're social lately. I wonder if you're always fucking sober or emotional roller coaster, barely coasting, hardly cope. And wanna call me, but you never push that motherfucking button. Change on me. What about us? What about the times when you feel like you could trust? Yeah, now you wanna chase for the same shit. You hear the sirens in the lake and wanna chase them. Beauty on the out, but you're surrounded by the fake shit. Beasts in a maze. Sing about freedom like a bird in a cage. That's a whole different pain. Calling up your homies and it's hard to explain. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Staying on my mind on the usual. Wanna call you up like we used to do. Tell you all the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. Staying on my mind on the usual. Wanna call you up like we used to do. Tell you all the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. Been a minute since I woke up feeling sober. When awake, I'm seeing nightmares. Sleeping, you are right there like you never left. And I am hoping that you might care. Change on me. What about us? What about the times when I feel like I could trust? Yeah, now I'm on a chase for the same shit. I hear the sirens in the lake and wanna chase them. Beauty on the out, but I'm surrounded by the fake shit. Beasts in a maze. Sing about freedom like a bird in a cage. That's a whole different pain. Calling up my homies and it's hard to explain. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Staying on my mind on the usual. Wanna call you up like we used to do. Tell you all the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. Staying on my mind on the usual. Wanna call you up like we used to do. Tell you all the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. I wonder if you're social lately. I wonder if you're always fucking sober or emotional roller coaster, barely coasting, hardly cope. And wanna call me, but you never push that motherfucking button. Change on me. What about us? What about the times when you feel like you could trust? Yeah, now you wanna chase for the same shit. You hear the sirens in the lake and wanna chase them. Beauty on the out, but you're surrounded by the fake shit. Beasts in a maze. Sing about freedom.
Prime Sports Media, Mike Lowe's, Prime Sports Media.
Tell you all the things I could do for you. Nah, 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 to me, nah, 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 right now. Staying on my mind on